Absolutely no chance.
It's time for the Asia Cup, Ayaz. And for India, it's not so much about winning the tournament, but rather not losing it. Of course, India go in as heavy favourites into the tournament, but questions do remain. And primary of them is the inclusion of Shubman Gill in the squad. And once he's in the squad, you would assume that he's in the playing 11 also. Now, we spoke about after the T20 World Cup last year, we spoke about how India were finally playing the T20 format as it is supposed to be played. But do you think the inclusion of Gill is a step back into the past, or do you think it's just an insurance policy in case they get some tricky wickets?
More than an insurance or a step back, it's actually looking ahead because he's a man in golden form, as one might call it. Yes, a lot of the runs, 750 plus runs, came in 5 Test matches in England, but he made a mark. He did very well in the Champions Trophy, which is the 50-over format. He's not had a great T20 series, so to speak, compared to some of the others like Abhishek Sharma, Sanju Samson, even Shreyas Iyer for that matter. So you could argue that hey, is he getting into the team because of his prowess in the 5-day game? But I think you have to acknowledge that he's emerging fast as a perhaps the best player in the young player in the world. So you have to acknowledge his golden form and find him a place. Then remember, all these young cricketers, almost without exception, they are weaned on this format. They are growing up into this format, so they don't have to learn and relearn or unlearn many things when they get into the into a competition. So like Abhishek Sharma from the IPL straight into the T20 team, it seems like he's come home. This is his format made for him. Likewise, I think Shubman's, he's been a very good addition, and as you rightly mentioned, that once he's in the squad, he's in the playing 11.
Yeah. When we do talk about emerging players, the question does arise about Yashasvi Jaiswal. Now, where does he fit into the scheme of things? Because unlike others, there's no question of workload management in the sense that he doesn't really play ODIs. I think he's played just one for India. He's primarily a Test batter, and I think pound for pound, he might be a better opening batter than Gill, of course, given the IPL form and everything. But so where does he fit into the scheme of things? Do you think it's only because Gambhir likes that left hand right combination right at the top?
Yeah, I mean, look, you can also have Yashasvi Jaiswal and Sanju Samson opening, in any format, in T20 certainly, in white ball cricket, I mean. You're right about Yashasvi Jaiswal. He's, for my money, he's been the best young player in the 5-day format, what we have seen, barring, of course, the season that Gill had in England last time. So, but across formats, I think Yashasvi Jaiswal hasn't got the breaks in the 50-over format and the T20 format. Now, this has not been it's not kind of it seems a little unfair to him because he's in the same age group, same mold, doing very well in IPL and white ball cricket, otherwise in domestic tournaments not finding a place in. But it's also a warning to everybody else who's in the team that hey, there's somebody like a Jaiswal waiting out, and if he can't find a place in the team, you can't afford to fail. So I think there is so much talent and so much, because there's so much talent in India, there's so much pressure on players who are already in the playing 11. And this is without exception. I mean, even Sanju Samson, there was so much talk about him, whether he should be part of the team, not a part of the team, and if he's part of the team, should he be in the playing 11 or not? So I think that all these players, barring, say, maybe a Bumrah or somebody like that, who in a way on a pedestal in a unique position, or Hardik Pandya perhaps, because of his all-round prowess, almost everybody else seems eminently replaceable. So that's really the challenge for the Indian squad, the players who are there.
Yeah, and I was going to come to Sanju Samson, and we talk a lot about him on this show, but you can't blame us because this guy, for a while, we thought that he would have cemented his place in the shortest format, but then again, this is Sanju Samson we're talking about. So, what do you think are his chances? I mean, if Gill is in the squad, he'll probably be in the playing 11 and he'll open alongside his Punjabi brother Abhishek Sharma. But then does Sanju come into the middle order? But then you have Jitesh Sharma, who is also a keeper and who's suited to playing in that position. So another tough break for Sanju. Do you see him playing any games?
I'll go by what I've been reading in the paper. Somebody like a Sunil Gavaskar has been very, forthright and forceful in his inclusion of Sanju Samson in the playing 11. So too Ravi Shastri. I was reading in the papers today, and he said he should be. I mean, and give him his, role which he had, which is the wicket keeper and the batsman. So Jitesh Sharma, yes, he did extremely well the last time he played, but I would think that Gill, Abhishek Sharma, and Sanju Samson would be my top three, with Sky Suryakumar Yadav coming at number 4. Now you can also play Samson at number 1 or number 3, depending on your choice. If you want to play Gill at number 3, so and so on and so forth. What I feel is Sanju hasn't done too much justice to him, to his own mighty credentials otherwise, and the kind of talent that he has. But it's also right to say that he hasn't been given a fairly long run at the international competition level. So he's got matches every now and then. He's shone in some, failed in a few. But you expect somebody like him to play an entire tournament and then be assessed or judged on that. And I hope he gets a full tournament here. It's the Asia Cup, we know. Now, obviously, the first couple of matches will be crucial for him if he plays, if he's in the playing 11. If he doesn't get enough runs, then, as I mentioned earlier, everybody is replaceable in this squad. So, and in which case, if he's replaced, if he doesn't play the entire tournament for India, then I think it'll be, it'll push him further to the margins, Sanju Samson.
Yeah, so talking about irreplaceable players, lastly, I want to talk about Jasprit Bumrah. Now, with all the talk about workload management, do you think Bumrah could have been rested for this tournament? Do you think the Asia Cup is such a big prize for, especially for a team like India? And do you think India could have won this without Bumrah? I mean, do you think they need to rely him to win this tournament?
Well, look, I look at it in a context of 6 months from now. There's a T20 World Cup which is happening in India, and obviously you want Bumrah to be there. And if you want Bumrah to be there, then he needs to be in rhythm, on song, in form, in looking fit, and primed for that big job. Uh, Asia Cup also represents. I mean, yes, the opponents are not too strong in this tournament. My own thing is that the better watch out for Afghanistan. I think they look to be the most serious contenders against India. Pakistan seems a mismatch. Bangladesh, Sri Lanka. I mean, India has got a very powerful, strong side squad, as we know. But where Bumrah is concerned, I think, look, you can't keep missing every major engagement, a test match here, a tournament there. I think winning a tournament is important for India. Also, for him to get into the rhythm for T20 cricket on a continued basis. Yes, there is 5 matches to be played in Australia. There are 5 matches to be played against South Africa at home, in both in the T20 format, as a build-up to the World Cup. But I think that Bumrah now needs to be kind of, he's amongst the senior most players. He's a pillar in his own right, but also a support for the captain. And every time there's a bit of a problem with the captain looking around, where's my main bowler? And if he's not there, then it's a bit of it'll become a little farcical, isn't it? So I think that Bumrah has done right, selectors done right, and Bumrah has done right to choose to play for this tournament. There are many, maybe 14, 15 matches remaining till the T20 World Cup. Maybe in the bilateral series, you need not play all 5 against Australia or against South Africa. That's a choice that has to be made by the team management. But I think this tournament, it's always good to win tournaments, isn't it?
Yeah, so as I said earlier, the Asia Cup begins tomorrow, and India's first match against the UAE is day after. So we'll return to you after that. So that's it for this episode of Sports Room. See you next time.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll catch up soon.